Good evening, you guys. I'm getting ready to get started on Clubhouse, Instagram, and LinkedIn and Facebook. I hope you guys are doing phenomenal. So, today I want to talk to you guys about going from fear to purpose. And very first thing I want to do before I get started is give all glory to God. I want to thank God. Hey, Mr. Wendell, it's good to see you. I want to thank God for this day. I want to thank God for life. I want to thank God for all of us here on this planet to manifest our higher selves and our higher calling. And so I'm Aisha. Hey, New Beginnings. It's good to see you. I am a holistic life and leadership coach, and I teach people how to go from pain to purpose. And I'm also a 3-time author. And tonight, as we talk about going from fear to purpose, I kind of want you to think about um, take note of some of the things that I suggest because this may apply to you in your life. So, first and foremost, I knew what my purpose was in life a long time ago. The very first time that I grabbed a microphone, I was an undergrad at the University of Georgia. My whole life, I wanted to be a neurosurgeon since I was like 9 years old. I remember reading a book by Benjamin Carson, and it was called Gifted Hands. And I was so inspired by Benjamin Carson. And I said, wow, I want to be just like him. And as time went on, I went to college, had this idea of, being a neurosurgeon. And then one day someone asked me to join a club that basically spoke to disadvantaged high school students. And I was like, okay, I've never done anything like that before, but that would be something that I would want to do because I want everybody to, be empowered and, to know that there's opportunities no matter where you come from. And so I can remember the very first time that I grabbed hold of a microphone, it was as if my soul lit up. It was as if my soul grew wings. And I had never felt anything like that before. And at that moment, I knew that I was not supposed to be a neurosurgeon. I knew that I was supposed to be a speaker, that I was supposed to speak inspiration. And I can remember calling my mother saying, Mom, oh my God, I had my first speaking event and I spoke and it was like my soul just was electrified. I was on fire. And, my mom being my rock, being my support, being my guide, being my mentor, being my best friend, being everything to me. She said, Aisha, you should really consider contacting Les Brown and reaching out to him and start calling schools. Because if this is really what you want to do, you need to put yourself in that environment. But I never did. I never had the courage. I never had the faith in myself. I thought to myself, who am I to contact Les Brown? Like, I'm in my 20s. Like, I haven't done anything significant. I'm a nobody. And so what ended up happening, because I had that thought and that belief about myself, like I just was too young, I didn't have what it took, I ended up putting my dreams on the shelf for almost 14 years. And it took me losing my mother and watching her die with her dreams on her deathbed and struggling with depression for over a year, trying to figure out if I still wanted to live, to be able to pick that desire back up within myself to go forward into my calling. And so one of the things that I want to share with you all tonight is that Nelson Mandela has a famous quote, and it's, "The brave man is not he who does not feel afraid, but it is he who conquers that fear." We all have fear. We all have paradigms or beliefs about what we truly believe is possible for us. We all have inner desires and goals and things that God has placed within our heart. And a lot of times what ends up happening is when we really don't believe in who we are, when we don't believe in whose we are, meaning God, and we don't believe or completely commit to that mission that we were sent here to fulfill, then we can get caught up and get sidetracked in life. I believe that God sent all of us here with a purpose. I believe that God sent every single one of us here on a mission. And that mission is to fulfill that highest calling, all of the gifts and desires and talents that he gave us. That mission is to expand that and express that out into the world. But a lot of times what ends up happening is we suppress our gifts, we suppress our talents, we suppress all of the inner desires that we have because we have so much fear. We don't believe we're worthy. We don't believe we're deserving. We don't believe we're good enough. We, at some level, don't even believe we have what it takes. And so a lot of times we find ourselves chasing flashy objects. You know, we'll chase after, oh, let's go do this Airbnb, or let's go get into real estate. Let me go try to get my money up. Let me do this. And all of those are great things. But when we're in this thing called life, one of the most important things that we don't want to get caught up in is chasing after the dollar. Because a lot of times you could chase after the dollar, but your soul is still unfulfilled. So it's important to be able to tap into those gifts, tap into those talents, tap into all of the greatness that lies within you, and believe in yourself enough and know that you have what it takes to win in life. A lot of times we go through so many painful experiences, right? Like me losing my mom, it sent me into a depression for over a year, right? I went to therapy. It helped a little bit, but still I had a lot of anger. I was angry with God. How dare he do that? How could he do that? How could he take my best friend, my mother, my world? And it was as if my whole world came crumbling down. I had so much anger and so much pain, I couldn't even focus to think about pursuing my purpose. It was the furthest thing from my mind. And so I did what a lot of people do. I chose to suppress it. I chose to work almost 90 hours a week to block it out of my mind. And so we choose to suppress our pain in different ways. But that pain is still there, no matter how hard you try to suppress it. A lot of times what ends up happening in this journey we call life is when we get out here and we get caught up, we get married, we have kids, you know, we get on the treadmill of life, and, you know, we try to get these jobs and all of that. One day you wake up, 10 years have passed by, and you're like, what happened to my life? What happened to me? What happened to my goals and my dreams? And one of the things that is important for us all to be aware of and understand is that when our soul is not liberated, when our soul and our spirit is not able to express the fullness of what it is and what it is here to do, that literally creates an energetic imbalance within our bodies, making us sick, causing diseases. And the disease doesn't necessarily have to be physical. Oftentimes it is, but different types of diseases of the mind, you know, anxiety, depression, you know, diseases of mindset, attitude, confidence, diseases of a bank account. You're not making the kind of money you want to make. Inner fulfillment is you don't have any inner fulfillment because your soul isn't able to express what it was sent here to do. And so one of the things that I want to share is that if we're not careful, the fears of rejection, or the fears of not being good enough, or the fear of inadequacy, what ends up happening is we end up shelving our dreams, and we make all kind of excuses. So we may procrastinate, or we may busy ourselves doing other things to cover up that lack of confidence, or that lack of belief that we just don't have what it takes. And so tonight I want to share with you guys 3 things that I want you just to keep in mind as you are on this journey we call life, because we're all on this journey called life, and we're all here to help each other. I have gifts and talents that I haven't even tapped into yet. We all do. We all are multiple gifts and talents. And so one of the things that I want to share, in just a few, let me finish up. One of the things that I want to share is there are 3 steps that I want to share in terms of going from fear to purpose. The first one is decide that you want it more than you're afraid of it. And that's a quote from Bill Cosby. I know people have their viewpoint on Bill Cosby, but I think that still he did a lot, right? He gave us an idea of what it could be like to have a healthy, happy family, even though it was just on television, it was make believe, but it was still inspirational. But anyway, he says, decide that you want it more than you're afraid of it. And I think a lot of times we don't realize what the fear is costing us, right? I want you to think about your life right now. I want you to think about how happy you are, how fulfilled you are. I want you to think about where you are. And if you are really happy, if you are making the kind of impact that you want to make, if you're doing the things that you really want to do, because a lot of times we're not. And so this fear is costing us mental peace, it's costing us our health, it's costing us our wealth, it's costing us, you know, our ability to live this magnificent life. And so, you know, if you want to experience more, if we want to experience more, then guess what we have to do? We have to face our fear head on, and we have to go forward into that calling that God has placed on our lives. I think one of the reasons why Real Housewives of Atlanta and a lot of these reality shows are really popular is because it takes the focus off of us and it puts it on other people's lives, dreams, flaws, all the mistakes they make. And it makes us not be aware internally of what we're here to do. If we're not careful, we can get caught up in that. The other thing that I want to share, the number 2 thing that I want to share is I want you to take a minute and think about yourself at the end of your life. I was thinking about this earlier. I want you to take a minute and think about yourself at the end of your life. And as you think about yourself at the end of your life, you fast forward, let's say 50 years, 60 years, 70 years, you 80 years old. And when you think about yourself at the end of your life, if you continue on the journey that you're on now, continue to think the same way, feel the same way, have the same habits, do the same things over and over again, 80 years, your life is still going to be going on the way that it is now. And when you think about that and you ask yourself, will that cause me to be someone that feels like I actually lived out my higher calling? Would that cause me to be someone that feels full of regret? Full of regret. Hey, Maggie, it's good to see you. Hey, Naomi. Would that make you feel like you're full of regret? So fast forward 60 years from now, when you're 80, 90 years old, if you continue on doing the same things, thinking the same things, having the same habits, are you going to be happy with the result of your life? And a lot of times you won't be. Fear is the enemy. Fear is something that is from the enemy, right? It's not from God. God clearly says that not only does he have a purpose and a plan for us, but he also says that I didn't give you a spirit of fear, right? I didn't give you a spirit of doubt. I didn't give you a spirit of that. I gave you a spirit of power and of a sound mind. So if God gave us a spirit of power and of a sound mind, then this spirit of fear is not from God. So then when we say, okay, well, if I'm feeling fearful, then I know from a spiritual standpoint that God is wanting me to go forward into my calling. God is wanting me to go forward into my purpose, but the enemy is wanting me to stay behind. And so at this point, when we think about going from fear to purpose, we really have to approach it from a spiritual perspective. And we have to ask ourselves, am I going to go forward into the calling God has for me? Or am I going to stay behind and be and do and serve the enemy at this level? Because the longer we live in fear, right? The longer we live in fear, the longer we live in doubt, the longer we live in inadequacy and not have the right concept of who we really are, the more that we get further and further or further away from our purpose and the things that we were sent here to do. And so I want you guys to think about some of the tricks that the enemy plays on us, right? And there's a quote that I want to speak real quick. And the quote was, if there's no enemy within, then the enemy outside can do you no harm, right? So the enemy a lot of times is within us. It's the inner us, right? That we have to address, and we have to begin to reform with the renewing of our mind. And so I want you to think about some of the tricks that he may be playing on you. You may be playing on yourself, right? So one of the things that I'm very passionate about is helping people get to the mindset of an expanded consciousness of who they are, knowing that you're beautiful, knowing that you're enough, knowing that you're worthy, and knowing that you have gifts and talents within you that need to be expressed within the world. You know, regardless of your past circumstances, regardless of your pain, regardless of the mistakes that you've made, because we have all made them. None of us are perfect. All of us have inner work to do. But even through that inner work, we still have to have a vision, and we still have to align ourselves mentally, physically, spiritually, and emotionally with God's purpose for our life. So one of the things that I want us to do tonight, because I promised it would only be 15 minutes, is I want us to do a quick meditation. And I brought my sound bowl outside. This sound bowl is a very special sound bowl because it tunes to the heart chakra frequency. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's purple and it tunes to the heart chakra frequency. A lot of times when we're experiencing fear, right, that fear is a very low vibration, very, very low vibration. So what we want to do is try to pick that vibrational frequency up as often as possible and stay in a higher frequency. Now, how can we do that? In a lot of ways. We can do that through the foods we eat. We can do that through the thoughts we think. And most importantly, how we feel, because our feelings determine a lot. Our feelings are a frequency that we emit, right? Even our environment. So there's different ways to keep our energy and our vibration up. So right now, I just want everybody, I want to invite you just to take a minute, do this with me for 2 minutes. I just want you to take a second, close your eyes, And I want you to try to get as relaxed as possible. So we're going to do that through some breathing. So I want you to take a nice, slow, deep breath in through your nose and exhale. This time, as you breathe in through your nose, I want you to kind of shrug your shoulders up towards your ears and then drop them back as you exhale. Okay, so nice inhale, bring them back and exhale. Nice deep breath in through your nose, shrug your shoulders up, drop them back and exhale. One last time, nice deep breath in, drop them back and exhale. Now I want you to kind of follow your breath. So just breathe in. As you breathe in, your belly should expand outward, right? So as you inhale, your belly should expand outward. And as you exhale, so just follow your breath. If you need to count to 1 in your mind as you inhale and exhale, count to 2. That can help you kind of stay focused through mindfulness of your breathing. All right, so nice deep breath in, count 1 as you inhale and exhale. We'll do this 2 more times. Nice deep breath in. Fill your lungs all the way up and exhale. One last deep breath in and exhale. Now I want you to kind of scan your body. Like notice if there's any tension anywhere. A lot of times we carry stress in our shoulders and our back. So as you breathe in, just kind of notice if there's any tension anywhere and just kind of try to breathe in that space and help yourself relax. Sometimes it's beneficial to visualize light touching those parts of yourself and really touching your whole body, streaming through every cell in your body. So take a minute, close your eyes and just see light filling your body. Deep breath in and exhale. All right, so as we do this quick meditation, as you breathe in, I want you to breathe in the words love. And as you exhale, I want you to exhale the word fear. All right, we're going to do 5 rounds of this. I'm just going to do some sound bowl with you guys. As you breathe in, imagine yourself breathing in love. See the word love. See light. See pink. See green. See a color with a high vibration. And as you exhale, I want you to exhale the word fear. Literally see that word exhaling out of your mouth with your mind's eye. All right, nice deep breath in. Imagine that love coming in. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Exhale fear. Inhale love. One last time. Nice deep inhale. And exhale. All right. Nice deep breath in. And exhale. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I know someone had a question. I don't know if they're still on here. Does anyone have any questions? I want to thank each and every one of you guys for joining on. I hope that you enjoyed this. It's getting dark outside now, so I'm going to wrap up. But I hope you guys enjoyed this brief talk on purpose over fear. Some of the ladies that are on, I want to invite you all to join my free Facebook group, the Fearless Woman Society, where we talk about nothing but overcoming fear and confidence and give you tips and tools and strategies to begin to live your dreams. All right. Thank you for cutting on the light, baby. My man just cut the light on. Okay. So does anyone have any questions for me? Anyone have anything? You're so welcome. Anyone have anything that they want to share? Remember, God has great things in store for you. Thanks, Maggie. God has great things in store for you. Do not allow fear, low self-worth, inadequacy, naysayers, the enemy. Don't allow any of that to stop you from going forward into your destiny. you know that there is a reason why you're here. If you're not on your purpose, if you're not giving it the amount of time and attention you need to give it, then it's time to refocus that energy, because we don't want to go to the grave with our dreams. My biggest prayer for all of us is that we do not rob the world of our greatness. All of us are great. All of us are talented. All of us are beautiful. All of us are amazing. There are things that you could do that I can only imagine doing. And there are things that I can do that you may not be able to do, but we're all here to help each other. We're all here to be a light for each other. And if you're not letting your light shine, then it's time to get rid of everything that's dimming it. Okay? I'm sending everyone love and light. And I hope to see you guys again. I hope that you enjoyed this. Send me any questions or comments. Take care and God bless. Hey, Facebook. So let me see. I can't even see who's here, but I want to say thank you guys for joining. I appreciate you so much. And let me know if you have any questions. Take care, everyone, and God bless.